When I speak about dropping out of the mind and into the body in order to tap into that internal authority, the inner compass that we speak about in human design, I know that I might be speaking a very cliched line, right? We hear about it so often. We hear the, come on, let's get out of the mind, let's get into the body. However, if being in the body is an unfamiliar experience for ourselves, then we are going to resist it. And yet that is where embodiment is. When we have embodied a behavior and a pattern, it comes naturally from within us, and there's no thought about it, there's no editing about it, it's just being in it. In our very left brain emphasized Western world, it's very common for the majority of people to be walking around either over intellectualizing what they're feeling or suppressing those whatever is coming up to be felt because it's uncomfortable, so we numb it away, or at worst we are dissociating. And what I've learned in my work and with my clients is that, the clients I see, the majority of them are really doing the work. They're going for therapy. They are tapping into these modalities like human design and the gene keys. They're understanding their astrology. They're doing a lot of personal development and personal growth practices. However, there's still a missing link. And my sense is that a lot of that missing link is to do with the over-intellectualizing, gathering information without it being translated and harmonized into the body. So there's no harmony or alignment between what is in the mind and what is in the body. And yet in human design, we are, just got a stray hair here. In human design, we are encouraged to tap into our inner compass, which for the majority of us is sitting inside the body. When you are using growth tools like vision boards and affirmations and law of attraction to bring in, for example, abundance, you want to attract abundance, or you want to attract in a new relationship, or you want to attract in something to do with your work, aligned partners. You might be doing all these, tapping into these growth tools, and then the abundance arrives. And what happens with the majority of us at that moment? In that moment, as the abundance arrives, the body feels unsafe, because there's a feeling of expansion that happens in the body that is uncomfortable when the abundance arrives. It's uncomfortable when the love arrives. It's uncomfortable when the levels of acceptance arrives, even though we have been desiring it. So what do? We self-sabotage, and we inevitably push it away because the body is going, oh, this feels unsafe, because I'm so uncomfortable, because the body maybe hasn't known what it is like to live embodied in the essence or energy or frequency of abundance, or in the frequency of unconditional love, or in the frequency of acceptance. And so because it feels uncomfortable, and because we over-intellectualize our feelings, we kind of want to numb away from it. We want to get away from it, and that's where we start the old neural pathways, right? The ruts. There's these ruts that have this is the way it's been our whole lives. We've gone up and down these ruts over and over again. And the work that I'm offering through Life Weaver, the 6-week program coming up in November, is about creating new neural pathways, softening those pathways in the brain, and going, we're creating a whole new pattern here. And as we create the new pattern, as we create safety in our bodies to feel the expansion, new neural pathways start firing. And there's a different lease on life. There's a different perspective that we have. And so the practices that we are going to be focusing on in the Life Weaver program is about daily embodiment practices. We're not talking about necessarily affirmations and speaking, because that is going to just lead to more mental stuff, right? More intellectualization. This is about slowing down. We have suppressed the body's wisdom over and over and over again to the point where we feel uncomfortable with being in the body and getting the body's wisdom. So we might tap into it every now and again, and it's so strange for us that we immediately think that something is wrong. And so with this emphasis in our human design on becoming embodied so that we can find our direction led by the body's wisdom, implies a slowing down. We need to slow down enough. We need to slow down enough to feel our breath, hear our breath. We need to slow down enough to be in our environment in such a way that we are able to take in what is there that we have just been taking for granted. It's about having awareness and presence and cultivating presence. Self-awareness is the first step to healing. Self-awareness is the first step towards transformation. But it doesn't stop there. Self-awareness is still sort of in the realm of the mind. What do we do with that awareness now? Where do we go with that awareness? If we want to bring real change into our lives and we want to live a transformed life, we are going to have to start addressing what shows up in that moment of self-awareness and find the courage to act on. And the acting on is usually got more to do with slowing down, tapping into our breath, connecting with the body through the breath, and harmonizing mind and body, bringing that harmony between the two so that there is alignment, and that then when you act out of that alignment, there is an authentic, true, sovereign expression, which is what I am really wanting to support you in cultivating. I'm cultivating it for myself. I'm not offering this as someone who has resolved all of my survival mode issues in my life. There are themes that I'm currently working very intentionally with. But I have tapped in, and I do know what it's like to dissociate away from the body and separate mind and body. I know what that's like intimately. I also know what it's like to gather and gather and gather information. I'm a Gemini sun, and I have an open crown and ajna in human design, and that means I am open to all kinds of information coming in. I will be listening to podcasts and YouTube videos and reading and doom scrolling, all of that. And what does that do? You know, I've been saying recently that if I were able to take my mind and turn it into a closet or a cupboard, and you were able to actually step into it, you would find a hoarder, someone who has just collected and collected and collected information. Yes, information that is interesting to me, but a lot of it just being stored away, not acted upon. There was a time where I really believed that I was probably the most disembodied body worker around. And it was when I came to this self-awareness that of the level of disconnect within myself, the level of disharmony between mind, body, and soul. That was when I had to really get honest. And so, sorry, my things keep falling down, but I'm inviting you to come and join me. I'm going to leave links down below the video to find out more about the Life Weaver program. We are starting on the 4th of November, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesdays, South African time, 6 p.m. UK time. And I would love to have you join me in a container that is set to walk the people in that space through daily embodiment practices to shift the neural pathways, to open up that neuroplasticity, to allow for something new to come in, so that you can walk your transformed path towards where your soul really wants to take you and bring you out of the stuckness that keeps you going round and round the same loops over and over again. I'd love to have you join me. So, yeah, details below.